Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a reading vlog of some of my most anticipated reads for this year. We're going to be doing two books. One is an Abby Jimenez book and one is an Emily Henry book. The first book that we're going to vlog and read is Just for the Summer. I'm already at 25% in and I will share my thoughts in a second, but this is the first book that we are reading. I have loved a few other books from Abby Jimenez and I've seen literally nothing but amazing things about this, so very excited. I'm hoping that it's a 5-star read. And then the other book that we'll be reading is Emily Henry's new release, Funny Story. I've seen a lot of good reviews before the book was out, and now that the book is out, I'm seeing some mixed reviews, so I'm curious on how I'm going to like it and where it's going to fall in my Emily Henry rankings. But anyways, we're gonna first read Just for the Summer because I've already started it. I'm like 25% in and oh my god, I think this is going to be one of my favorite books from Abby Jimenez. Like, I think this will solidify her as one of my favorite authors, up there with Emily Henry, because so far I love our main guy, Justin. Like, I need my own Justin. Like, he is just so thoughtful, so funny, and so just like communicative and like creative. They went on their first date and he sent like a little email that was like a little survey of what they should basically do. So he took into account what she selected and then planned the date, which, hello, boys, take notes, we want dates like that. So far so good. The chemistry between them is also very, I think, believable. Our main girl, Emma, she's like not too quirky. Like, she's pretty normal. She has some family trauma, obviously, and so does our main guy, Justin. They have some family trauma. So with it, one thing about Abby Jimenez is she loves to sprinkle in some serious topics in her books. So curious to see how those family dynamics will play out for both of them. But so far, I love Justin. Oh my god. And they just like seem like already such a believable couple. Like, they seem so real. It's really reminded me of some of Emily Henry's writings where Emily's characters feel so real to the point where like I want to look them up on Instagram to see like what they're doing in their day-to-day lives. That's what these people so far are feeling like. So I have a feeling this is going to become a 5-star read. Fingers crossed. Literally only 25% in. Also, if you can hear my cat, sorry, she's going crazy in the background playing with her toys. But yeah, so I'm very excited for this vlog. I really hope both of these reads are 5-star reads, or at least I hope one of them is. So far we're on track here for 5-star, and then I'm really curious to see how I'm going to like Funny Story because I've seen such mixed reactions. So anyways, let's get to reading, friends. Good morning, guys. It's now the next day and I'm currently like 45% in, almost halfway into the book. And when I tell you I am down bad for Justin, holy, where can I find a man like this? Because he just keeps getting better and better. So basically what's happened is they went on another date, and before the date, like when he was picking her up, instead of just giving her like a bouquet of flowers, he literally bought a whole damn rose bush and gave it to her and was basically like, I'm giving you this rose bush so that the flowers that I give you will never die. Like, what? Like, where's a man buying me a rose bush? Like, where's a man buying me a hydrangea bush? Hello, where are you at? So I'm falling more and more in love with him, and we got more backstory into Justin's situation on what's going on with his family dynamics, and Emma actually got to meet his mom before something big happened, so that was kind of nice to see that crossover happening. And when I tell you our boy Justin is down bad in this story, like because they have like a set timeline, right? There's an expiration date. So Emma's going along with like, oh, well, I only have 4 more dates with him, like, you know, then it's done. Justin's very much like, girl, no, I want to date you for longer. So I feel like he's really trying to like pine after her and win her over. And I'm just like literally so obsessed that we have a main guy who is down bad for this girl and is not afraid to show it. And we also got to see a little bit more of Justin's friends in here, and I love them. I think they're so caring and just so nice and kind. And it was nice to like see guys being caring towards each other, because I feel like, you know, in the toxic masculinity, it's not really cool to show those feelings. So Abby Jimenez, girl, whatever you put into this book, I need you to write more books like it, because I'm just eating it up. I'm so obsessed. I did tab a few lines in here. Let me pull it up. Oh yeah, Emma's friend, oh my god, it's so funny. Emma's friend said, I swear to God, this guy is the epitome of if he wanted to, he would. And that is literally so true. Like, no better description to describe Justin other than like, if he wanted to, he would. Because this man, like, I'm not kidding, guys. Like, I fear I am too obsessed with this guy. Oh my gosh. And then there's this little moment where they're talking about like surviving a zombie apocalypse. And then she says, I promise you I can outmaneuver a zombie, Justin. And then he says, well, if you can't, I promise to run slower than you. I smiled and so did he. Oh my god, I'm just obsessed. So anyways, that's the check-in. So far, I'm still loving it. I'm eating it up. Hoping to read more today. It'd be great if I could get close to like 75%. I will say today is Met Monday, so I might be a little more distracted. I might not read as much as I would like to after work today, but so far we're still on track for a 5-star read, and I could not be more thrilled about it. This book is, I think, going to become my new personality. It's like to the point of being on the same level of Beach Read. Like, I love Beach Read. January and Gus, love them. This couple, Emma and Justin, right up there, baby. Right up there. For the next check-in, I'm now 65% into this book, and I truly think Justin is the perfect man. I've never met a male character that I've loved so much, and Justin is just it. Basically, what has happened since I've last checked in with you guys is that our girl Emma has gotten sick, and naturally Justin had to take care of her. Like, love when that happens, but he literally went chasing after her, tried to get to her, and did everything that he could to help her. Ate it up. But then we also come to realize that Justin truly like is in love with our girl. He literally says like, I want you to stay to Emma, and Emma's basically like, I love you too, but like you have to take care of your family, and like I don't want to stay here. Basically, she's being the bolter. If you know like that Taylor Swift song, she's being the bolter. She is running away from her problems, and her friend calls her out on it and is basically like, girl, you have always done this. Like, why don't you see you have a good man in front of you? Like, what a shame it would be if you literally left this perfect man because you were too afraid. And I'm like, yes, call our girl out because she's acting a fool. So I'm very curious to see where it's gonna end. It's really like kind of sad right now because it's a dual POV, in case you didn't know. So we'll get Justin's perspective, and he's just like, I'm so in love with her, but she doesn't love me, and like, this is so sad, it's gonna end, and she doesn't want to be with me. Like, it's so sad how down bad our boy is, and he's just like a sad little puppy dog, like just like being like, and then Emma's just like, I love him, do I stay? I don't know, I've never done that, I've never dated someone who has to take care of a family before, like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, girl, stay with him. Also, there are some parallels between Emma's mom and Justin on how like Emma's mom keeps fleeing from her and like never truly puts Emma first, while Justin is like putting Emma first. Like, there's this one hospital scene where Emma's mom comes to the hospital because she's dating their head surgeon right now, and like brings him lunch but doesn't bring Emma lunch, and Emma's just like shocked that the mom didn't even consider that. And then Justin comes literally like a few minutes later and it's like, I brought you lunch. And it's like that direct parallel showing that like, look, there is someone valuing you and like putting you first. Like, why aren't we like screaming with joy? Anyways, I just like love this book. So far, it's still on track to be a 5-star read. I'm hoping to finish it by the end of today. Like, truly, really, like I only have that much left, and I really think I'll be able to knock it out on like a lunch break. But so far, loving it. This is truly, I'm like obsessed. I'm giddy when I read it. I'm giggling, kicking my feet. Like, oh, I'm just like so in love with this book. This might be like up there with Beach Read, which is crazy. just finished reading Just for the Summer. Well, I didn't just finish reading it. I actually finished reading this a day ago, and I just had to sit and collect my thoughts on this book because when I tell you this is my new obsession, it's my new obsession. This will become my new personality trait. If you can't tell already, it's a 5-star read. I loved everything about this book, and I think this is my favorite book from Abby Jimenez thus far. It is perfection. I loved every bit of it. Like, there's literally nothing I would change. I thought it was so well crafted. Emma and Justin's characters were so fleshed out, but at the same time, their love story didn't feel unbelievable or unrealistic. They each had their own family traumas that they were going through, and by being together they helped lift each other up and support each other through their journey of healing. And I think that was just a beautiful thing to see. And we also saw our male character Justin, our male lead. He was so vulnerable and so in touch with his emotions that I was just obsessed with him. He was so thoughtful in all that he did, and planning dates, being around Emma and like making sure she was okay, while also taking a step back and realizing like, am I okay, like with what's going on in his own life, and reflecting on, you know, advice that Emma gave him. And he took it and like listened and like used that advice and applied it to his own scenarios to help live a better life. And it was just so great. The last few chapters, I was like, how is this going to end? I was so nervous, and I thought it was so well crafted. We do get cameos from 2 of the other books in this like world that this book lives in. It's in Part of Your World and Yours Truly. Characters from those books make an appearance towards the end, and I would recommend reading those 2 books before reading this one, just because I feel like it had a bigger impact. If I hadn't read those ones before, then I don't necessarily know if like those characters coming in towards the end would have impacted me as much. But I was giggling, I was kicking my feet, screaming, like, oh my gosh, I was teary-eyed at some points. This book just had me going through all the emotions. So highly, highly recommend this book. It was beautiful. And I will say Abby does include at the beginning of the book like a trigger warning section, because there are like toxic family problems that go on throughout this book, and that may be triggering for some people. So definitely, if you're curious about trigger warnings, look them up before going into this. But I highly recommend it. I thought it was so well crafted, well thought out, well planned, just like everything about it. It was perfect. And I just need to know, where can I find my own Justin? Because he was literally perfect. He is the definition of a man that I want to date in real life. So if anyone knows where I can find one, let me know. I'm looking, but perfect. And can we talk about how cute this cover is? Literally obsessed. This whole book, obsessed. Abby, queen, love you for this book, and I can't wait to see her next books in the future if they hold up to this. Like, this is on the same level as Beach Read for me, so anyway, so exciting. So we love that I had a 5-star read. Currently reading Funny Story. I'm 10% in. We've just been introduced to basically all the characters that will be in our storyline. So we have Daphne, our main female character, and Miles, who will be the male main character in our story. And I've seen a lot of people talk about how Miles is not the type of lead that they are attractive to. So I'm really curious what I will think. As of right now, I'm currently picturing Dylan O'Brien as the lead, and I couldn't be more obsessed, but I'm curious if that will hold up, like if the personality will change. And I can't picture Dylan playing this character anymore, but as of right now, Dylan O'Brien is the lead, and if you don't know, I love him, so like, works for me. It's also very clear that it's going to be like, I think opposites attract. Daphne is very much like a rule follower, tidy, clean, like has her plan and everything like that, so she is that type. And then Miles is like the messy, stoner, chill dude. Like, his room is a little bit chaotic, but it's very warm and cozy feeling, while Daphne's is like clean, put together, everything's has a spot and is in place kind of thing. So really curious to see how this plays out. They're definitely like opposites attract, but I mean, I think we will know how it plays out, but I'm like happily ever after. But I've seen a lot of mixed reviews. So anyways, that's a little update on Funny Story. I'll check back in maybe when I'm like 25, 50% in, but yeah, that's all I have to share. guys, it's a few days later and I may or may not have finished reading Funny Story, and I forgot to update you guys. It was just one of those days where I had to go to the car dealership and get a lot of maintenance done on my car, so I was going to be there for a few hours, and I was there for like 2.5 hours, and I thought, what a great time to read my book. And that's what I did. So I got to like the 60% mark at the dealership. I came home, ate lunch, and then basically just literally sat down and read the entirety of Funny Story in one sitting because that's how good it was. I was so sucked in and I had to know what was going to happen next. I personally loved this book. I think I'm giving it a 4.75. And the only reason why it's not getting a 5 stars is there was just like some moments where the inner monologues were just like, all right, I'm skipping through some of this because this is just a little too much. But other than that, it was truly fantastic. I loved Daphne and Miles' relationship. I thought it was so wholesome. And transparently, I feel like Miles is probably one of Emily Henry's more realistic men that she's ever created. He is flawed in some senses, but at the same time, he is so down to earth and caring, and he actually listens to Daphne and like surprises her with things that Daphne actually likes, not with stuff that she doesn't like. As an example, he notices he goes to this local coffee shop near their apartment every day or something. So he wakes up one morning and brings some drinks, like coffee. She's like, oh, I don't actually like coffee. And he's like, but I thought I always see you with this cup. And she's like, it's a chai tea. Literally the next time he goes there, he gets her chai tea and she's so surprised. And I'm so surprised. I literally gasped. I was like, he listened. Which just goes to show the bare minimum is on the ground when it comes to men. But he was just so sweet, and he also had some family issues that we saw throughout the story, and he was sweet with his sister. And then Daphne also was dealing with some past family trauma as well, so we also see her kind of work through some of that while also realizing her feelings for Miles. So overall, it was just a fantastic book. I highly recommend it if you like Emily Henry's books. If you liked Beach Read, I think you'll really like this one. I truly think this might be my second favorite Emily Henry book, so it will be Beach Read, Funny Story, Happy Place, Book Lovers, and People We Meet on Vacation. That's where I'm kind of thinking the ratings are going to fall. I'm torn right now between Happy Place and Funny Story, like if that's the order that I want them in, and I kind of feel like I need to reread Happy Place to get a true feeling of the ranking, but that's the tentative ranking. I'm gonna like sit on it because I literally just finished it last night. So I'm like still soaking in and digesting everything that I read. So I'll make sure to follow back up with the final ranking that I have. But I loved the book, guys. It was so good, and what a great way to end this video. Alrighty friends, that's gonna be it for today's video. Overall, I think this was a huge success. I found almost 2 5-star reads, which is incredible. I absolutely fell in love with Just for the Summer, as you all saw in the video. I truly was eating it up. I was obsessed with the coupling. I was obsessed with the entire story, so highly recommend it. I do think it's probably my favorite book from Abby Jimenez, and I think it's her best work to date, so could not recommend it enough. And lastly, I read Funny Story from the Queen, Emily Henry. Of course, I went in with high expectations, and it was almost a 5-star read. I absolutely adored this book, and I can confirm that my ranking for the Emily Henry books goes Beach Read, Funny Story, Happy Place, Book Lovers, and then People We Meet on Vacation. So that still holds up. I'm still really sitting in my emotions with Funny Story and just really absorbing the couple and what I just read, and I do enjoy it. There was a few moments where I just thought it lagged in the inner monologue, so that's why I deducted a few stars from it, but overall it was still a great book, and I will always recommend an Emily Henry book. I think if you liked Beach Read, then I think you'll enjoy Funny Story. I personally saw Dylan O'Brien as like the main male interest, so do with that what you will. And that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you read any of these books, let me know down below what you thought of them. Or if you have any book recommendations that I should check out, please let me know. I'm always taking recommendations, so if you have any, definitely leave them down below. But please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.